Good morning and welcome to Daily Game Design. Happy Easter. Hope you're enjoying a beautiful day. Yeah, there's some interesting things going on. In fact, we're having our first step of a debrief tonight. It should be pretty exciting to just chat with the team and hear what kind of feedback they're getting. We have a feedback form that some folks have filled out. We've got 11 responses. So not a great number, but helpful. And anyway, I may join a little Easter. Oh, it's not. I thought I updated the date. I may join a little brunch thing in an hour or two. I think they're going to be hanging out in a park nearby, some families, and should be a nice time. But I'm planning to get an hour of game design out of the way here. I have Solar Smugglers up partly because Party Wave, I really feel like I've hit a kind of design wall with Party Wave. It has to do with blocking. What does a player do on their turn if they can't move? And do they score anything? Should we really give players as much of the ability as they have now? Should we give them the ability to block players? Of the game? Just block people, just get in their way. So, not a fan of that idea. Yeah, so just kind of wondering the best way to move forward there. Is something frozen? Huh. I wonder what's weird. Maybe. Okay. Hopefully that works. Okay. Yeah. So I was just feeling like, yeah, there's basically nothing I can do at this moment that doesn't feel clunky and weird, and adding steps, adding checks, adding math. So I feel like the game needs to be streamlined. I think it needs to be simple. As it sits on the table, it should be just roll some dice, place some dice, move toward shore, and that's score a card occasionally. But I realize it's just kind of getting into the weeds with this ability players have to get in each other's way. And I believe I'll circle back to it. I think there's still potential there. I just don't understand, or I don't yet have that flash of insight that would that would lead to breakthrough. So last night I turned to Solar Smugglers. Oops. And I played through a full game. I can't say I thought very strategically about how I was handling the auctions. I just had somebody start at a certain value and just kind of bid from there. Not thinking a whole lot. Got through most of a game. And then had the feeling that there were just too many auctions. And I think that was the case. Let me see if I left some notes. I don't know if I ever finalized my note. Yeah, I don't think so. Wait, I definitely wrote something here. Huh. Strange. Well, the feeling I had was, I think I'll just write notes as I chat then. My sense was that there were too many. The feeling had to do with the game length, but more importantly, how early I'd run out of contracts. I don't think adding contracts is really the answer. Which I could do. I could just double sum. I could just make, well, because the thing is, if you participate in the auction, you get the item. So at the moment, there are 14, the same number of contract cards. There are the same number of contract cards and item cards in the smuggler deck. The item cards in the smuggler deck. I mean, the same number exists, but this there will be fewer cards included in the smuggler deck. Yeah, but anyway, what you have is the situation where if you participate in the auction, you get the item. So that's how things are now. And so for every one item card, there's potentially a flood of up to 4 items into the game. So for every one card, there are 4 items. That's because if you participate, you get an item. That's important, but also what that means is as more players are taking their turns, they can go in and fulfill contracts so that they are fulfilling more contracts, or they're fulfilling contracts at a rate such that I think there were 5 cards left in the smuggler deck and the contract cards were gone. I don't think that's the end of the world. I think the timing is slightly off. The reason it's not the end of the world, the reason that it's not a huge problem right now is that we've added the mechanic of almost like, it's not area majority, but it kind of is. It's the idea that you can discard an item for like influence and leave a cube at that planet, at that location. So instead of using items and turning in items for points and for credits, right? Because you're kind of collecting contracts for the end of the game to score. Let's look at these cards. So what this card says is that if you're dropping off a water jug here, you gain 4 credits. If you're you gain the card to your hand or to your play area at the end of the game. If you score, you would score 3 points. That's what the bottom left, that's what the bottom left of the card shows. Also, the space, like the police bot, moves, in this case, 1 step backward. Okay, the other type of item is this one, which says if you drop off a laser gun, you earn 6 credits, and you earn this card at the end of the game, you would earn 3 points. The space bot, the police bot moves 2 spaces forward. Okay. If you're dropping off a water jug here, you only earn 3 credits off the water jug. Okay, so that's what's going on there. So your choice is to fulfill contracts In that way, you earn some endgame points potentially. Um, you earn credits, which keep you in the bidding game, and you also can you impact the board state by moving the police bot. So that's one choice of I think I mentioned. The other choice is to discard an item. So you can either turn the item in and fulfill a contract, or you can discard the item, send the item back to the supply, return the item to the supply, and in doing so, leave a cube of your color on that location. If at the end of the game you have, and I think what I'm doing is four, if you've left 4 cubes out around the board, then if you survive the solar storm, in other words, if you have any credits or victory points left at the end of the solar storm, then you automatically win. You know what, though? It should probably be just credits. Yeah, that's a kind of an oddly specific rule, because everything else is like if you survive the solar storm, well, when you meet the requirements of the solar storm, like each solar storm card flips up. Actually, I can show you one here. What this one says is that either you pay 2 credits or 4 victory points. You must do one of those two things. If you cannot do either of them like completely, then you you do them as far as you can, um, and you do the worst one, right? So if you have only 1 credit left, you must pay 4 victory points. I don't know a great way to say that yet. You must you must do whichever one you can do completely, and you must do whichever one is more. That's terrible, but anyway, so if you survive with anything at the end of the solar storm, if you have victory points, wait a second. No, if you have either victory points or credits at the end of the solar storm, you get to score. Because you might have victory points because you have cards in your hand. You might have fulfilled contracts. However, if you if you have left cubes at 4 or more locations, and you still have credits left, then you automatically win the game. If another player has also done this, then whoever has more victory points after this whole check, that person wins the game. If there's still a tie, we check credits. If there's still a tie, then players share the victory. So those are your 2 main choices. And what I found was that we ran out of contract cards with at least 5 auctions left. Up to 4 auctions left because there were 5 cards in the smuggler deck. And I didn't think that was the end of the world, because then the game kind of transitions to bidding on cards to get items that then you would drop off at different locations. And of course, that's like the influence win condition. So it's not horrible if there are no contracts left, but I didn't think they should get wiped out so soon, because then it's kind of like, well, what's really, the game is fundamentally changed at that point to just bidding as low as you can to get items. I mean, you are still getting victory points too, I guess, but you're probably really trying to hold on to credits, because you have no way of getting credits back except for going into Smugglers' Den and just having a really bad time in there because that exchange rate is terrible. So what I have is a smuggler deck of 10 cards. I'm tempted to remove the Founders Bank from here because this leaves potentially as few as 6 auctions. And think about, like, if there are just 6 auctions, how much are you really going to get done? Would that be a satisfying game? If I remove the Founders Bank, then you're guaranteed 7 auctions, with the possibility of up to 9 auctions. It was actually pretty good that toward the end of the game I was really like, we had at least one player like dwindling seriously. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna play through. I also had the question of, like, is this too many credits? I want to give players flexibility in bidding and not just feel like, okay, the first player always is going to start with 1 to 3 1 to 3 credits as their bid. But the first player also can pretty much guarantee that when it gets back to them, they're gonna have to pay at least 5, right? And so why not just push it to drain other players? I don't know. I guess I don't know what some people would come up with here. So I'm just gonna start, and I don't think I won't pick like an avatar for each character or anything like that. I'm just gonna play loosely, not think a whole lot about what I'm doing. So let's have the start player be green. Those 6 smuggler cards. Here's another interesting potential problem. It's that there are 6 cards sitting off to the side, which means that all 4 water jugs could be in there. So if all 4 are in there, then they're going to be fulfilling bad contracts, right? Because the water jugs are definitely going to show up throughout the game. So they're going to have to like you'll have players kind of waiting and holding off. They're going to be sitting on their laser guns, not wanting to turn them in for the water jug contracts. But like at some point they're going to realize, okay, I just need some credits. And anyway, I just wonder if that's actually interesting or if that's a problem. That all of the one, there are 2 types of items in the game, and they could all be in here. Actually, they could have all been in the leftover cards before, but just like ridiculously unlikely that would be the case. That all 4 would be gone. But the more we leave off, the more we leave out of the game, the more likely it is, of course, that all 4 are in there, or there's only like 3 are in there. Doesn't matter. Like, if this is the only water jug, like, what does that mean? How does that really affect the game? What's the player psychology at that point? Yeah. Okay. So let's have green as a start player. Here's a pretty high value card. In that there's a lot of victory points, but it's just 1 movement attached. So green is a little bit interested, and we will just do this whole 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think green is, let's have everybody pass, but here everybody is involved. So what happens is now they all mark the card based on how much they bid. and then we resolve the card. So from top to bottom. So we have, excuse me, I was going to put it on green. So we have red gaining 8 victory points and a movement token. And then we have 7 victory points going to blue. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll just kind of stack them toward the bottom for everybody. Just like this. All right, yellow's going to gain 4. And then green's going to gain nothing except that everybody gains a laser gun. So we'll just set one of these for everybody. And what's nice is once the pawns are arranged on the card, everybody can just kind of arrange themselves, like get their own stuff, make their, get their, just resolve this auction phase altogether. Now, green plays first. So green is pretty confident that most of what's going to be out there are laser guns. So not gonna really risk it. It seems like the only two, like as far as like opening moves, I feel like the only two reasonable ones are these two, right here and right here, because this one, if a player goes somewhere and resolves a water jug, like if this happens to be a water jug, then this, like the police bot just moves back and attacks the person the very first turn. Oh wait, this is not up to date. That's okay. If they go here, and it is a laser gun, which it's very likely to be, then the police bot's just going to jump over here and get him. So that's a little bit of a problem, I think, because although everybody starts with 2 movement, so it's not an incredibly important problem, because they could, for example, they could move here and then move here out of danger in preparation for fulfilling the next contract. So that is possible. But okay, where are we? We're with green. Green now is a laser gun, so I think green is going to head up here, spend 1 movement. And now, is this a real choice? Are we going to go with influence? Let's just have green work on influence the whole time. So we'll go here, and so they're bidding low, so that they'll have plenty credits left. But it could be that now is the time to gain credits, like while they're still available. I don't know. We'll just have green do that. Because green did that, yellow can now move in. Yellow can spend 1 of their movement, and let's have them drop down here. They could have gone up here. Let's have them drop down and not waste, same kind of thinking. Like they're pretty confident this is going to be a laser gun. So we flip it. It is a laser gun. This goes back to the supply. This player gains 6 credits. Yellow does. And this card goes to their hand. Meanwhile, the space bot moves 2 steps. 1, 2. The police bot. Okay, and then this comes out. Okay, now it is blue's turn. Blue now is more likely to head this direction, just to like stay out of the way. And blue was also feeling good about turning in their laser gun. What am I doing? Oh, movement. And we'll just send it. And it's a water jug, unfortunately. So they should have checked. However, oh, yeah, this is a bad idea anyway, because if it was a laser gun, the police bot would have just hit him. But lucky, unlucky. Still gaining 4 credits. Losing the laser gun though, and then this card goes away. But at the same time, the police bot jumps back and hits yellow. So this gets discarded. Just set it over here. Actually, these cards don't really need to be here. They're not really that useful, but so yellow now. So we might. Yeah, I think we'd just bring this out, and then now yellow has to decide what to do. So these are the options. Right now, yellow has no item to give away. There are 4 ways to react to the police bot. One is pay 5 credits and ignore him. It's kind of like a bribe. The other is to pay 3 credits and head back into the smuggler's den. I think we're going to do that for yellow. Another option is to pay 5 victory points, which you can't do, but you pay as many as possible. Well, anyway, so yellow's like jumps back to safety anyway. And then red. Red now has 3 movement. And okay, so the green could get hit if red. I think red's going to go down here with a movement. Fulfill this contract. Turns out to be correct. This is a laser gun. And we have, none of these players are using their peaks right now. They totally could, and they probably should. And think about this. Like, this is all just the first auction. Of course, I'm managing all the steps. But is that it? Is that it for red? Oh, then we bring this out. Oh, and then the police bot jumps twice. 1. So green. Bam, bam. So green gets hit. Where does green go? Green, let's say green pays 3. Green pays 3 and goes back to Smuggler's Den. Gains a peak. Okay, so that's everybody's turn. Now the next smuggler card comes out. Not as lucrative. I'm sorry, the next item card comes out. But I like this little system here. I like marking the cards because then it's clear who starts the next bid. So these are all gone. These credits are all gone. And red starts the next bid. So does red want to actually win something here? Their best chance to do that is just to start by 1. They actually have more credits than everybody else. No, tied with I think tied with this player, yeah. Or no, 1 more than this player. Anyway, so that's right, and then we just continue clockwise. So it's back to green. Green would actually like to win this. But they're not going to be getting many credits. So let's have green turn in some stuff here. Okay. Green will place 2 because at least they'll get to take a turn at least. Yeah. And they'll get the laser gun, which they need to, because they're just focused on influence. Everybody fulfilling their contracts right away. I'm not too sure about that. I'll be right back. Okay, so red started the bid. And as things are now, red must bid. So if you win, you're obligated to continue bidding. But at the same time, that could be like kind of an issue because that guarantees that the winner is gonna, even though they're obligated, they get the cheapest access to an item. So maybe it's a little compensation because they just spent the most. They can still kind of be in it, and maybe it hurts that they spent the most. I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna pan out, but to do this as well. Oh yeah, I just saw that an acquaintance of mine, Michelle, she's in Zambia, and I messaged her. She's there for some meetings. I forget exactly what the meetings are. My parents being in Zambia, I said, yeah, they're over there right now. How long are you going to be there? And I guess she's leaving today, but my parents are stopping by Riverside, which is where I was a student missionary and where Michelle is with these meetings. And anyway, I don't know when my parents are going to be there. I think the wedding that they're helping with was this weekend. It sounds like, or the bridal shower was. I don't know. I don't know what the timing is for things. It feels like my camera keeps freezing, and I don't understand why. Like, what's trying to access my camera? I don't know what's happening. Okay, so here we are. We'll just keep the bid reasonable, and blue stays in it. This blue gets. I mean, you get a lot of stuff out of this. So I think blue actually pushes the bid a little bit, trying to win. And red, what does red want to do? They're pretty flush with credit, so they could add 6, but they have a fair amount of movement. I think blue takes this. Everybody else passes. So now what happens is red drops down to the bottom, and then it's green, then yellow, and then blue. So everybody just shifted 1, actually. And maybe that's not horrible. I wonder if there'd be a pattern there. Okay, now we resolve. Blue gets a lot of movement and a peak. So there's a rule that I think would be easy to forget, but that is, instead of taking the benefit here, you can always just take 1 movement token instead. And I think because these credits are so few, I think both yellow and I'm sorry, the victory points are so few. I think both yellow and green are just going to take the movement, actually. That's a calculation I feel like some players would just do automatically that I wouldn't have thought of or didn't really notice. But why would you ever take 2 victory points when, well, I don't know. When you it could this card could have come out toward the end of the game, and maybe there aren't any contract cards left or something like that. Not too sure. Red doesn't gain anything, but everybody gains a laser gun. I mean, red doesn't gain any victory points. Okay, but red acts first. The police bot is here, so red kind of needs to get out of the way. Because if it's a water jug, then that's it. Red gets hit. So red is gonna move, and we'll move the. Ooh, should try to fulfill first. No, move here, fulfill. Try to attempt a laser gun. and it's good. So this is gonna, yeah, red's doing pretty well with credits right now. Like this is a lot actually, I feel. A new contract comes out, the police bot goes twice, jumps twice. Before it was only moving one forward and one back, but I like this. I like that it's moving around pretty quickly, and then eventually if it did like 2 laps, it would hit every location. So the only safe place really is getting into the middle. But let's see. So red really needs to be spending these credits. Okay, but they fulfilled the contract. That happened. The police bot moved. Now it's green's turn. Green is in the center, right? So green could move out here to where blue is. I think we'll do that. No, I think yeah. Well, no. Red is the only where red's location is the only safe one. So green's gonna come down here, turn in one of these, and leave a cube. Because remember, green's whole thing is just like the influence cubes. Even though this contract is here, and they might feel like they're running low on credits. Let's see how it goes though. Yellow's turn. Yellow, maybe yellow does come out this way. They're also not using their peaks actually, so let's have yellow use a peak just because. Okay, so they were correct. This is a laser. Yellow is. I wonder why. Huh. No, that's not it. It's this. It's only yellow and red so far. Okay, now blue though. Blue can use a peak. Oh, let's do this. See, look, contracts are already sort of running low. There's only 5 left, and this is only the second auction. Right, you see the problem. Should we have blue use a peak? Let's have blue use a peak. And check this one. So it's a water bottle. So instead, they'll move over here. Now everybody like knows it's a water bottle. And then we'll check this one. It is a laser gun, and they'll gain 6 credits. The police bot's gonna move twice, and this card's gonna go to blue's hand. Yeah, this is like, I don't know. Keep going. Red can take a turn now. What's red up to? Red? Wait, did red already go? Yes, red went first. Okay. And then we just finished with blue. Okay, so I'll just set this off to the side. And then here's the next auction. Blue starts. So all these credits are gone. Fine. These are all laser guns, which is not necessarily a problem because that still translates into dropping off cubes for influence. Okay, but here's blue. They started with 1. Red will go. Two? I don't know why. Green might as well bid 3. Because it's not really that cheap, but it's not bad, I guess. And then yellow might as well say 4. Let's just keep it a tame bid here. So yellow, so everybody shifts up again, just like this, shifts 1. And I don't really mind this rotation. You know, I don't think it's a bad thing. Right. Okay, resolve from top to bottom. So, oh, have I been doing, I don't think I've been doing victory points. That's okay. It's mostly just kind of testing the system out here and like how, you know, how long the contracts last, that kind of thing. And really it's a credits and contracts sort of issue. Because victory points I don't really care about right now. Anyway, so maybe just ignore them. Although it should be, that should be an issue for like player motivation. Like why they would bid higher or lower. But I'm not stressed about it. So okay, so it's 2 credits and then a move and a peak. I mean, overall, I think the flow of the game is actually fine. This is a little weird that like there are pretty much obvious places to go to avoid the police spot. It's also now a known thing that this is a water jug. So now we know 2 of these things, and these are basically stuck until a water jug comes up. I do think this would all be happening fairly fast. So anyway, then green gets 2 points and a movement. Okay, red gets a movement. Movement's really important. And then everybody gets a laser gun. Okay, now we go blue. Where's blue? So blue is actually safe right now. So I don't know what they're. Let's have blue. Does blue peak? No, I think blue just goes for this. So here's a laser gun. Blue's gonna get. Oh, where this is not blue. Blue is right here. So blue is gonna turn this in. Gain 6 credits. Wow. Okay. And this guy's gonna move twice. Nobody's there. This gets refilled. And blue could do more actions right now. Like, for example, just spend a move to get out of here. Let's do it. Yeah, so blue is safe for a little bit by doing that, by burning a move and coming down here. They could go into the center, but that also feels like, that feels like a kind of a rush. Like there's no need to run back to the middle. Okay, so that was blue. Now red. Red is in danger, so red is actually going to move here and attempt to fulfill. So we'll flip this. And unfortunately, it is a water bottle or water jug. So they're going to lose the card. However, anyway, they still get the 4 credits, so they're still in it. But the space bot, the police bot, is going to run back here and hit yellow. Yellow doesn't feel like moving, I guess. Because yellow's turn is coming up, and yellow wants to interact with this contract, so yellow's going to pay 5. Anyway, this goes away, and then the second to last, there's only 1 contract left. Okay. And then still up to 6 more auctions. So this still feels like a problem. Okay, who is that? That was red did that to yellow. Now it's green. Green is safe for now. So green is just going to attempt to fulfill this one. And it is a laser gun. So take this and 6 credits. Oh, this is the first time I've had green try this. Right? So this goes away. And the police spot moves twice. So yellow, if yellow is right, and this is a laser gun, then yellow's gonna hit both of these too. Uh-oh. Okay, well let's try. So yellow, it's yellow's turn. This is the credits and everything resolved. So yellow's hoping that this is a laser gun, and it is. So yellow turns this in, gains 6 credits. This joins their hand, and bang bang, these two now just got hit. So let's have blue pay the 3 and head back in here, gaining a peak. What's red gonna do? Red has plenty of money. Mouse got lost somewhere in packing up or from the retreat. So I don't really know what to do about that. That's what I thought. I thought I had another battery, but I had to dig a little more than I was hoping. It doesn't seem like it's dead, but it feels weak. Yeah, the rechargeable one, nice, very nice mouse, and it appears to be gone. I think my friend JR is going to check. Also, what is happening with my camera? This is my first time seeing it freeze like this. I don't know what that's about. Okay, I feel like I don't know that this is really that interesting. Is this game fun? I don't know that it is. This is kind of a funny moment that red gets hit. Red's gonna just stick around, right? Because red is, I think it's red that hit yellow before. But it's not obvious to me that this game is fun yet. And there's still, it's all just laser guns. There's still a lot of auctions left. I mean, you can get a fair amount done. You definitely can't do both, I guess. Like, what if the game ended like right here? So if there are just 8 cards in the Smuggler deck, so there'd be at least, there might be only 4 auctions. Like, that doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right. Oh no, there's at least 5 auctions. And it's very dependent on what cards come out, because if there's like very little movement, there are excuse me, there are at least 5 auctions, potentially up to 7 auctions, which is kind of where we're at. We're not even there now. Huh. Yeah, I think there are just not enough. I think there are not enough water jugs, not enough item cards that come out that are likely to be, or that have been water jugs. Um, Let me take a few. Yeah, what is this? Well, like, why does this keep resetting? Is that what's happening? I don't know. I'm thinking about testing 8 cards in the Smuggler deck. Just tested at 10, and it still feels too long. Even though I didn't get to the Solar Storm card. Also, the contract cards are out super early again. Huh. The game feels pretty repetitive. It could be because of so many auctions. By shortening the game, it will divide players' attention and add pressure more effectively. I also think the distribution of of laser guns and water jugs is off. Well, what if you know what, I might be able to, yeah, too likely for a contract to be, no, for the item. Too likely to be laser guns. I like this little system. I don't remember how long these stay active, but the fact that they're like in progress games or that they are active, like I'm actively working on them, and that they stay in the list here for some amount of time, I really like that because they stay like top of mind, you know. Well, one thing I wonder, I might be able to do this basically like right away. What if I took out all the D cards? I don't remember how many there are, but let me look. Because the D, these are the weakest cards in the game. They're just not that valuable. So I think movement is worth 2, peak is worth 3. So this is a 7 value card. It's just I don't remember. There are, looks like there are quite a few of them. A's and B's are the water jugs. Okay, it should be all C's. Oh, wait. Oh. So 4 4 water jugs, and then 5 C's, 5 D's. Now, if we left in the Founders Bank, nine cards. Um, so that would mean only 2 are removed. Because we would want a deck of 8. 8 in the Smuggler deck. Taking out all the low value. Let me see what's going on here. So this is more victory points than any, like by far. So that might be tempting, and there's a movement. So that's kind of interesting. There are only 2 A's, 2 B. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. And then I can just add to the contract cards. The contract cards don't have to they don't have to be equal to the number of item cards, because obviously there are more items than item cards, since people get items just by participating in the auction, so it's not 1 for 1. Like one player gets 1 item because of an item card. No, up to 4 players can get 1 item because of 1 item card. So the contracts, we could actually just add to this number. But I think dropping the number of I think dropping the number of auctions is still useful here. Just to cut down on the feeling that that this is repetitive. However, if you have a player, I think you want a player to at least feel like this other win condition is viable, the one where you like go around and do influence, but it feels like you'd have to go like kind of all in. It's all or nothing. By starting with more credits, like I start with 20 credits right now, by starting with more, it makes the more credits I start with, the more likely it is somebody will try for this influence strategy, because they wouldn't feel as much pressure to yeah, they wouldn't feel as much pressure to try to save credits in order to survive the solar storm. Yeah, they wouldn't feel as much pressure to go and fulfill contracts, so they could really just let their credit uh, pool dwindle and just go around and drop influence cubes, and just kind of hope that the solar storm is short, which is a cool thing actually. So, what would be the number? Um, hmm. It could be that it could be that if I drop down, if I if I reduce the number of auctions, excuse me, if I reduce the number of cards in the smuggler deck, if it's 8, then maybe I should place the solar storm as the last or second to last card, not like the up to the third to last card. Like maybe that's just too variable. Yeah, but to have 6 or 7 auctions, I feel like that does add to the flexibility. Um, hmm. I don't know about the Founders Bank. I kind of think the focus is so much. It's not really on victory points themselves right now. Hmm. Although I don't know, yeah, I think it still works there. Let's see. So if let's say the deck. Let's say the deck was okay. So you shuffle the item cards, including Founders Bank. Draw 8. Deal 8. Take the top card, shuffle it with the Solar Storm, place those 2 cards at the bottom, and then place the remaining 7 on top of that. There would be a 9 card smuggler deck. 9 feels funny. I don't know why an even number just kind of feels better, but it could be the case. Okay. Um, that you just have an odd number of cards. And in this way, you're guaranteeing at least 6 auctions. with up to 8 auctions. Hmm. No, I don't. I don't think I need to add rules for the Founders Bank. I just leave the Founders Bank out of it, and just let the Smuggler's Den be the place that where you can trade. And it's just going to be bad. It's just going to be a bad trade. So guaranteeing 6 or 7 auctions, I think, is nice. What's also good about that is that it would guarantee. We still guaranteed to see water jugs, right? Because if the pool of cards is these 9 cards, so there are 5 laser guns and 4 water jugs. These are the 9 cards in the pool. Okay. Let me write this down. Removing the D item cards. Laser guns. Okay. Reducing the number of take 7 of the 9 remaining items. Shuffle the Solar Storm card into place those 2 cards at the bottom of the Smuggler deck. Yeah. Remove the Founders Bank. So this is kind of nice because okay, so this would be the process. So this comes out. Okay, so actually, wait a second. So shuffle. Oh, wait a minute. Where did I put the? It's not in here, is it? It's not. Where did I put it's? I guess it's in. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. Okay, so these. Now what happens is, okay, this comes out. These 2 get shuffled. Okay. And now deal place 6 more cards on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That leaves 2 off to the side. Now 8 cards in the Smuggler deck. Okay, let me go back to the setup. This is crazy. Like, I wonder if there were any shortcuts here. You know? Okay, so these are all in. Like, how could I have known that it was just going to be too long? There definitely would have been a way to figure that out. I don't know that I am capable of that. Not right now. Okay, so just get rid of those. What's cool is like, okay, so that means all the cards are relatively similar value, except the two B cards, the peak heavy Bs, um hmm, I don't know why I saved it like that. Okay, so what happened now is take one, flip these, shuffle these, then place 6. Is it 2 left? Nope. So it's place 5, so that there's a total of 8. With the 8 auctions, so up to 7 auctions, 6, it's going to be 6 or 7 auctions. And then if you leave influence at 4 planets, so it's still, there's still a little cushion there to do that. So you could do both. You could look after your credit count and leave influence cubes too. So it's crazy, the simplification. I feel like it's much better. You could leave 5. Yeah, I feel good about these changes. And anyway, that's an hour and 15 for me. So I'm going to transition away. I think I'm going to go check out this friend's Easter thing in one of the parks nearby. But yep, hope you have a blessed and enjoyable Easter Sunday. Yeah, Jesus is Lord. Okay. Yep, that's it for me. Bye bye for now.